1972 was the year everything converged. Rock had grown up, soul was reaching new heights, pop was unafraid to experiment. The charts that year told stories about love, loss, identity, and survival. These weren't just songs competing for airtime.
And the story it told of the river that flowed me.
They were snapshots of a generation finding its voice. Today, we count down the 10 tracks that dominated that unforgettable year, the songs that played at every party, echoed through every car radio, and stayed in our hearts long after the needle lifted from the vinyl. It began as a folk song written years earlier, quiet and intimate. Then Roberta Flack recorded it with a voice that could stop time itself. Every word felt like a secret being shared. Every pause held entire lifetimes. When Clint Eastwood featured it in his film, the world finally understood what they'd been missing. The song moved like a slow sunrise. Roberta's vocals didn't rush, didn't push, didn't need to prove anything. She simply delivered each line with the kind of emotional precision that made listeners forget to breathe. It sat at number 1 for 6 consecutive weeks. Not through energy or hooks, but through pure, undeniable feeling. This wasn't a song you danced to, it was a song you lived inside. Decades later, it remains one of the most beautiful recordings ever committed to tape, proof that sometimes the quietest voices carry the deepest power. Behind the gentle piano and lilting melody lived one of the darkest lyrics to ever grace the pop charts. Gilbert O'Sullivan sang about rejection, loss, and contemplating the unthinkable, all wrapped in a tune that sounded almost cheerful. The contrast was devastating and brilliant. Radio played it constantly. People hummed along without fully processing what the words were actually saying.
It seems to me that there are more hearts broken in the world than...
By the time the song reached its conclusion, listeners realized they'd been holding their breath. It spent 6 weeks at number 1, proving that audiences were ready for complexity. Gilbert O'Sullivan turned personal pain into universal art. The song resonated because everyone has felt alone. Everyone has questioned why life delivers the blows it does. He gave voice to that darkness without pretension or melodrama.
Bad news on the doorstep. I couldn't tell.
This wasn't just a song. It was an epic. 8.5 minutes of poetry, nostalgia, and mystery wrapped in folk rock perfection. Don McLean crafted something that felt like reading a novel. Each verse revealing new layers, new meanings, new questions. The day the music died became a phrase that defined an entire generation's loss of innocence. People debated every line. Who was the jester? What did the marching band represent? The beauty was that McLean never fully explained. He let the song breathe and grow in the imagination of every listener. Radio stations initially resisted playing something so long, but audiences demanded it. It became impossible to ignore. Do you remember where you were the first time you heard this song all the way through? Did you try to decode its secrets with friends late into the night? American Pie proved that pop music could be literature, that 3-minute songs weren't the only way to capture hearts. The chorus was an anthem. The verses were history lessons. The bridge was prophecy. It spent 4 weeks at number 1 and never left the cultural consciousness. Decades later, people still argue about its meaning, still sing every word, still feel that ache for something lost. The accordion opening was unusual for rock radio. Then that story began to unfold. A barmaid in a port town, in love with a sailor who loves the sea more than he could ever love her. The melody was infectious, but the narrative gave it depth. Looking Glass created a character that felt as real as anyone you might meet. Brandy became a name everyone knew. The song painted pictures with economy and grace. You could see the harbor, smell the salt air, feel her resignation as she watched ships disappear into the horizon. It reached number 1 in August and stayed there, proof that storytelling still mattered. The harmonies were pure, the production was clean, but what made it last was that universal truth at its heart. Sometimes, the things we love most are the things that will never stay.
Nobody's gone.
Mac Davis brought swagger and honesty in equal measure. This was a song about a man trying to protect someone from falling too hard, knowing he wasn't built for forever. The groove was undeniable. The message was complicated. It spent 3 weeks at #1 because it felt real. The production had that early 70s polish, strings swelling at just the right moments.
You're a hot-blooded woman, child.
But Davis's vocal carried genuine concern beneath the bravado. He wasn't celebrating conquest, he was admitting limitation. That vulnerability disguised as confidence made the song irresistible. Radio couldn't get enough of it. Dance floors filled when the opening bars kicked in. It was the rare song that worked both as a party starter and as something deeper if you paid attention to what was actually being said.
The Candyman can, 'cause he
Pure joy, in musical form. Sammy Davis Jr. took a song from a children's film and turned it into an unstoppable force of optimism. His voice radiated warmth and charisma. Every note felt like a smile. In a year heavy with serious subjects, this was permission to simply feel good. What memory does this song bring back for you? A birthday party? A summer afternoon?
separate the solid and collect up all the cream. The Candyman.
The sound of your parents' radio playing in the kitchen? The Candyman became a soundtrack for innocence, for the belief that sweetness still existed in the world. It reached #1 in June and stayed for 3 weeks. Critics dismissed it as lightweight. Audiences understood it was necessary. Sometimes the world needs songs that don't apologize for being happy. Sammy Davis Jr. delivered that without reservation, and we're still grateful for it. Bill Withers wrote this in his kitchen, inspired by his childhood in West Virginia where neighbors helped each other survive. The piano was simple. The message was essential. We all need somebody to lean on. 4 words that contained the entirety of human connection. The song built gradually, adding voices, adding instruments, creating community through sound.
When you're not strong, and I'll be your
By the final chorus, it felt like the whole world was singing together. It spent 3 weeks at #1 because it spoke to something fundamental. We're not meant to face life alone. Withers' voice was rough-hewn and honest. No vocal acrobatics, no unnecessary flourishes, just truth delivered with conviction. Churches embraced it. Protests adopted it. Graduations played it. The song transcended genre and generation because its message was timeless.
Yes, it shows.
Heartbreak rarely sounds this devastating. Harry Nilsson took a song written by Badfinger and transformed it into an epic of loss and desperation. His voice climbed to impossible heights, cracked with emotion, and somehow held together long enough to deliver one of the most powerful vocal performances in pop history. The production was massive. Strings surged like waves. The piano rang out like a funeral bell. But everything served the vocal. That raw display of a man falling apart in real time. It sat at #1 for 4 weeks because it gave people permission to feel their pain fully.
But I guess that's just the way.
You couldn't listen casually. This song demanded everything from the listener, just as it demanded everything from Nilsson. His voice strained, reaching for notes that represented the impossible task of living without someone essential. It remains one of the most cathartic records ever made.
There were plants and birds.
The desert stretched out in every note. America created a landscape with minimal chord changes and maximum atmosphere. The lyrics were surreal, almost dreamlike, painting pictures that made sense emotionally even when they defied logic. It was a journey song that took you somewhere strange and hypnotic. Can you still feel that open highway when this song plays? Does it make you want to drive toward the horizon with no destination in mind? The guitar work was deceptively simple, creating space rather than filling it. The harmonies floated like heat shimmers off asphalt. Critics complained about the lyrics being nonsensical. Audiences understood they were never meant to be literal. This was mood music, atmosphere captured in 3.5 minutes. It knocked Neil Young off the #1 spot, and for 3 weeks, the desert belonged to America.
Waiting in the sky, he liked to come
Then there was Bowie, standing outside every convention, every expectation, every boundary that rock had established. Starman arrived like a transmission from another world. Glam rock wasn't just fashion. It was permission to be strange, to be different, to be whoever you needed to be. The song was built around hope, a cosmic messenger telling youth that they weren't alone, that someone out there understood them. Bowie's voice moved from intimate whisper to soaring proclamation. The La 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 section became an anthem for outsiders everywhere. While it didn't reach #1 in America, its impact was seismic. Bowie's performance on television changed lives. Kids watching saw someone who refused to fit in and thrived anyway. Starman opened doors that had been locked for generations. It made weird, beautiful, and different powerful. Do you remember the first artist who made you feel like it was okay to be different? 1972 gave us songs that still define what music can be: epic storytelling, raw emotion, pure joy, devastating heartbreak, social commentary, cosmic wonder. These 10 tracks captured a moment when music felt limitless, when radio played songs that dared to be different. They're reminders of when songs weren't just content, they were events. If this journey through 72 brought back moments you'd forgotten, share it with someone who still turns up the volume when these classics play. Tell us which of these 10 hits still moves you today.